day, Ruskin enjoyers. Hope you're right, because it's time to showcase to you the brand new Rustore. That is the June 25, 2026 Rustore. Sit back and relax, let's start yapping. So first of all, I just want to get this across to all of you. We saw some pretty interesting looking collection continuations, but the notable thing is with these skins, we have seen the return of super late picks. Basically, look at that Abyss Locker right there. That has been waiting on the workshop for about 2 years. That has been seen by a lot of people. A lot of people have been voting for it. A lot of people have been really wanting it. And only now, after about 2 years, is that accepted. We also have the Gold Chains Barbecue, for example, as well. That's been waiting for about 4 months. Boom. All right. Guess we're cooking our meat in glorious gold. Oh, yes. But I should also point out we've got some interesting collection continuations for the Clothing and the Armour. Redemption Collection, that's been completely bought out. All the armour's been bought out with the arrival of the boots and the gloves there. So, maybe we could start anticipating hoodie and pants. Oh, that would be nice. I should also point out that's the first bow knife skin to be accepted in a Rustore after about 5 years. I'm not joking. I know some of you might bring up the Twitch drop, but I'm talking like marketable, one that you can buy and sell straight for the Rustore. Scalpel's looking pretty gruesome. I'm going to carve up some animals and maybe some humans. What? So, maybe that could be turned into an interesting sort of collection. We'll keep an eye out. But you know how, last week we had 2 auto turrets. We had Popstar and we had the Neon auto turret. Now, after a full 7 days, Popstar sold quite a fair bit more. And I'm led to believe it's based on the fact that the Neon auto turret glowed in the dark. Is a glow in the dark auto turret a bad thing? I was talking about how it could be treated as like a deterrent and whatnot. But a lot of people are probably going to sit there and say, well, if it glows in the dark, people will be able to spot it from further away at night time. But they have the lasers as well, and they make noise and whatnot. Still, it looks like that was the prime reason as to why it sold quite a fair bit less in comparison to Popstar. Well, what do we have right there? That just so happens to be our first proper full black auto turret. Well, predominantly black, I should say. A pirate auto turret has been accepted. Priced at $3. I know I ask you, yes you, is that going to be harder to see at night time? Well, I reckon what we need to do is we need to go ahead, look at in-game, and you can tell me what you think. That potentially might sound very, very appealing in regards to that being a nice investment for the week. And of course, we will talk about that in the predictions video, so go ahead and watch that right now if you're very curious in regards to what I'm going to say about all the skins. But I will ask you right now, out of all the skins that are accepted today, based on what you see in the workshop, I should say, which of them happen to be most favourite? Now, let's also go ahead and look at the skins in the Rustore online, as you can see right here. I'm going to go ahead and quickly point out of all the skins, which ones are and are not abnormal. And it's usually easier to point out which skins aren't abnormal. Redemption boots, they are not abnormal. The gloves are, but not the boots. The Stinger bow, well, that's also not abnormal. And of course, we also happen to have the Prototype Salvaged Axe. That is also not abnormal. If I could also switch over to here, yep, get a good look at that. So I'm not joking. The Abyss Locker has been waiting for quite a long time. Look at all the upvotes it has. But again, it gets that sort of boost from being around for such a long time and more people have seen it. Hey, it's nice to see it finally being accepted. So, alright, that's cool. And I can confirm to you, every single skin this week did have an positive upvotes downvote ratio. So, alright, cool. Let's now go ahead and look at the current sales. Let's just refresh. Let me confirm to you, the Rust rotation today was fairly later. It wasn't as late compared to the previous week, but it was fairly later. So, alright, fair enough. So, how about we now go ahead, get a good look at all these skins, and you can tell me how much you happen to like them or not. Right then, let's get started with the deplorables. And first up, Firefly's Rug. Now, I have reason to believe a lot of people are going to be very pleased with this appearing today. If you've seen the prices of all the previous deplorable skins that have been accepted in this collection, yeah, they're all doing good. Now, I know you might sit there and say, Hedge, this is the showcase, not the predictions video, but no, I'm not joking. I know for a fact that a lot of people really like the set because everything's been bought out in that set. The prices are doing very, very, very good. So I think this would be welcomed by many, 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 many people. First of all, do you notice that that's got a lot of transparency? Many holes, or rather, cross sections, whatnot. You can see that, you can see through it, basically. You notice that. But it's also a very nice, stylish, serene looking design. You can cover your base in this. I want to make it green. I mean, if you want to. A lot of people have done that before. But I must warn everybody that it does happen to glow in the dark. Because those fireflies, oh yeah, they're nice and bright. Now with the lights on nearby, you'll notice, oh, there's a bit of reflection there. That's looking pretty cool. Like where the paint is and whatnot. So, yes. That's looking pretty sweet. But of course, in total darkness, there you go. That glows quite brightly. And I know for a fact a lot of people do happen to like glow-in-the-dark rugs. So we'll be talking quite a lot about that in the predictions video, because there might just so happen to be another Fireflies rug that was submitted recently. I'm sure many of you are fully well aware that the next brand new Skinnable is the metal shop front. I wonder what got a submission recently for a metal shop front. Well, if you saw my Rust Workshop skin checks video, I'm sure you'd know. Could we potentially have a Fireflies metal shop front in next week's Rust store? Keep an eye out. So yeah, I reckon that's looking pretty sweet. But now, speaking a little, well, not sweet, but oh so nice and savoury. Look at that meat. Yes. Being cooked in pure gold, say no more. Does that make it more valuable? Anyway, yep, get a good look at that. Made out of pure gold. We have Gold Chains Barbecue. Look at that shine. So, of course, let's go turn the lights on as well. Let's just make sure the shine is there when we make it night time. Away we go. So, when it's not turned on, obviously it doesn't really like produce its own light and whatnot. You might notice it doesn't glow in the dark. No barbecue glows when it's turned off, right? We should be fully well aware of that by now. But with it producing its own light, which is orange, it kind of makes it like not like gold. Yeah, I'm sure you could tell. You could see that. So yeah, right, and I'm not sure if that's like a major concern for people, but at least you can see it with your own eyes. And of course, in total darkness, yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. Now, obviously, that doesn't glow or stand out. This does. It's lit up. It's cooking the meat. And, well, doesn't appear to glow in the dark whatsoever. So, okay, cool. Well, regardless, it's a very nice looking design. But considering all the recent barbecues we've seen being accepted since this has, well, been submitted, does it stand out enough for you? Do you like what you see? Feel free to comment below. Now, we have ourselves an interesting discussion. So last week we made quite a big fuss about the fact that we had the Neon Auto Turret. That glowed in the dark. That ended up not selling as much compared to Popstar. That was listed at $3. This right here is also listed at $3. Now, if you aren't fully aware, with the Pirate Collection, more specifically with like the deplorables and whatnot, the overall design is a pirate flag draped over all the items and whatnot. And as you can see here, with some very creative use of transparency, oh, that's looking pretty sweet. That's looking pretty stylish, yes. So, okay, props to skin creators. They've made a very interesting set. You might recall, all the deplorables in this collection is actually doing pretty good, except the large box, if I can recall. But the recent electric furnace, that sold a lot. That has been retaining its value oh so nicely. So, well, that'll be an interesting discussion when we do the predictions video. Let's also turn on the lights as well. So, based on what I see here, I don't instantly see some reflection or anything. So, that might make it a little bit more appealing. It is predominantly black. Does that give it advantage at night time? Well, we'll be showcasing that right now. Not exactly super reflective indeed. That is quite easy to notice. Yeah. But now, let's go ahead and showcase this in total darkness. And as you'll notice, you only see the red light, basically. As I go over to here to look at the one that isn't turned on, you can't even see it. As I go back over to here, I can see the red laser. Now, I know a lot of people will be sitting there saying, Hedge, I can't see it. Oh, it's amazing. It's great. Hold on a second. You can look at last week's video if you want. Look at when I looked at the Popstar and turned off all lights and whatnot. It's the exact same thing. In total darkness, in third person, everything is all dark. Unless it glows. So, what you see here is what you'll see of all the other auto turrets that don't glow in the dark. This doesn't make it more special. Now, you can look at that and comment below your own thoughts and whatnot, but do you think a lot of people are going to be fooled into assuming that's going to be an advantage? And, you know, at the end of the day, we'll turn the volume up. Brace yourselves. I wonder what's nearby. I can't see a laser or anything, right? Can't hear any sort of whirring or buzzing or anything, right? Right? So I think we've got the point, yeah. So in regards to what I see there, hey, it's a welcome addition. I think a lot of people will be appreciating it regardless. And you know what? Maybe it doesn't sell that much considering we've already seen some interesting auto turret skins being accepted before this. Maybe that puts it in a more interesting position. Ooh. But again, that's more of a predictions video sort of discussion. But it is interesting to bring up because a lot of people were offering their opinions when I was talking about that with the neon auto turret from last week. And as you'll see there, yeah, it's pretty much the same thing again. So, alright, cool. Cool. Let's now move on, because over to here, we've got an interesting looking garage door. Now, I am going to bring up the amount of sales we've seen so far of garage doors this year, because it is an interesting thing to be aware of. We are now reaching basically the halfway point for the year. And, wow, that went quick. Oh, boy. The amount of garage doors we have seen in total being accepted so far in 2026 is 23. Now, that would include Twitch drops and kick drops, true. But last year, we had the record-breaking amount of garage doors being introduced in a single year. It was 39. We're halfway through the year so far, and we're at 23. I really wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if by the end of the year, we do reach up to 40 and over. Like, more than 40. I'm expecting it. We keep seeing more and more garage doors. It's getting pretty ridiculous, isn't it? This also doesn't happen to glow in the dark. So I'm not really sure if everyone's going to go super wild for this, but it's an interesting approach. Look how battered. Look at how much of a beating this has been taking. This is the asteroid garage door, and well, I'm probably not going to say that much when I do my predictions video, but it's nice to see something different. But considering all the recent glow in the dark designs we've had and whatnot, I guess you could say the timing's a little bit awkward. But let me also go ahead and showcase this at night time with the lights on, and oh, well, that looks pretty cool. That looks pretty interesting. Do you know what? Why don't we go ahead and potentially have like a fridge? Or an electric furnace. That might be pretty sweet. Why don't we go ahead and look at more designs for the asteroid collection? But again, just to point out, doesn't glow. Is that the end all be all for you, the Ruskin enjoyer? What are your thoughts? Feel free to comment below. So, in regards to talking about that, we now have this to talk about. Do you know how last week we had a very grounded design for a locker? We questioned, could we have like an interesting collection on the horizon for that? And then, of course, with the Rust Workshop skin checks, we didn't see a collection continuation for that tier 3 locker. Well, now we have this. This Abyss locker has been waiting on the workshop for almost 2 years in total. And over time, it just kept getting more and more support. More and more people became aware of it. They gave it upvotes. It did get quite a decent amount of downvotes as well. But that's a pretty cool looking design right there. And after discussing like the Pirate collection with how well that's been doing and the Fireflies collection, I should acknowledge that the Abyss collection is also doing very nicely. The prices of the skins are up ever so nicely, and I wonder why. Maybe it's because they all glow in the dark and they look really, really cool. Not the weapons and tools, I should clarify, but that right there, oh my, that is a very cool looking locker. Now, I certainly wouldn't want to wake up and see that at the end of the room, would I? No. That does look pretty sweet. So what's your opinion? What do you reckon? With the lights on as well, it definitely adds all the details and the finer sort of lighting. Oh yes. A very sinister creature. We're only getting closer and closer to Halloween. Maybe a lot of people might appreciate that for October 2026. But again, I will point out, we have had a lot of Abyss skins being accepted over time, and it just really wouldn't surprise me if that just works out perfectly fine. Again, sales would matter. We'll talk more about that in the predictions video. But yeah, that's freaky. That's cool. So props to skin creators. But I'll also sit here and say, I don't think that's the end of Abyss collection. I'm sure we'll be seeing quite a lot more. Maybe a metal shop front. Ooh. We'll see. All right, so moving on from there. Ooh. Right. So another crypt theme skin has been accepted. Let's just move the sun around so we can get a pretty good look at that. Oh, yep. The bone sticking out, much like what we saw with the crypt building skin. But you know what? I will sit here and say I'm not exactly sure everyone's super invested like they were when the crypt building skin first initially appeared. Basically, like, a great example was looking at the sheet in the door that came out at the same time the crypt building skin was accepted. Or introduced, I should say. That crypt sheet in the door dropped down in price quite badly. So, like, is everybody kind of, like, done with it now, the crypt building skin? I remember when I first saw the crypt building skin, I thought, you know what, that's definitely going to be greatly appreciated for Halloween. Again, referencing Halloween again. But honestly, after last week's skin, you know, the Apotheosis of War, Electric Furnace, I was kind of pointing out, this kind of looks a bit featureless. How do I say this in a more appropriate manner? It wasn't exactly super flashy. It wasn't exactly super, like, insane with its design. Now, with what I see here, with the speckles of the fire underneath and whatnot, that's honestly a nice touch. That honestly does look pretty cool, pretty sweet. But I'm not sure if everyone's going to go super wild for like a fully grey electric furnace after seeing the very colourful, crazy designs that we've seen been accepted somewhat recently. Now, you can dispute that. You can offer your own opinion. Feel free to comment below. But, yeah. Is this what people really want? I mean, Facepunch like it, so it's been accepted. What do you think? What is your opinion? I can confirm, at night time, when it's not turned on, yeah, you can't see it. But, of course, when it is turned on, look at all the heat. Look at that. It's an interesting bit of glow. Are you a fan of what you see? Feel free to comment below. Right. Now it's time to go ahead and look at the only clothing and armor pieces for the week. More specifically, armor. Get a good look at Redemption, Roadside gloves and boots. My goodness, are they shiny. So just to clarify, the boots are 99 cents. They are not abnormal. But the gloves, they are priced at $1.49. They are abnormal. So next week, or rather, more specifically, next Wednesday night, we'll look at the sales, we'll make considerations, and then we'll race to get some barters down. Because that right there is abnormal. As I've already pointed out, all the pre-existing Redemption armor has been bought out today. All of it just shot up in price. It's all been cleaned out. So, could we get some hoodie and pants right about now, Slanosta? That being the skin creator, you know? I know you've been a bit shy about approaching this with a design for hoodie and pants, and I know you've been a bit, like, undecided, indecisive. I guess that's probably the right way of saying it. But you submitted these boots and gloves somewhat recently. Quite late for last week, if I should say. But it got, like, pretty much instantly accepted. Like, common now. Facepunch likes it. No, I'd be surprised if a lot of people watching right now happen to like it. Don't be shy. Show us the hoodie and pants. It's July, right? July's next. Kids are at school. Summer vacation. Summer holidays. We expect to see more people playing. You should be expecting to see more people wanting to buy. And when they see that full red, shiny, cranberry red collection, there's a pair for that. I just made oh, okay, shut up, you. This is my show. Anyway. You should wear these. There'll be more to notice. And that might actually be a good thing to point out. Do people want to have a very shiny red armor and clothing set to wear because, you know, in the jungle, for example, it might be easier to spot? Imagine if you're running in a field as well. You know what? There's definitely people out there that want to be seen. Would you like to become a Ferrari? A man of fine taste. Cranberry red. Oh, yes. So you know what? At the very least, what we should go ahead and do now is go ahead and showcase this with the other armor pieces as well. Bullseye target? No, sir. Ferrari. No. Bionicle. Would you like to become a Bionicle? There you go. Much better. Right. So, get a good look at that. you are very shiny. Perhaps a lot of people might be concerned about that. Perhaps a lot of people are thinking, you know what, I want to be shiny. I want to be seen. I want to look cool. So it's been brought out for a good reason. People happen to like it. People are just itching for the final core piece. The hoodie and pants. Come on, Slanosta, don't be shy. Now's the time to give it a shot. So, what's your opinion? Are you a fan? Do you like the shine? Oh, wow, that is shiny. Well, look at that, yeah. And just to quickly confirm, does any of it happen to glow in the dark? No. No glow. Just very, very shiny. Yes, I know, Monument. I can see it with my own eyes. It's not glowing. Yes, yes. But it certainly is shiny. Yes. Right then. Let's now move on and showcase the weapons and the tools. And here we have the Scalpel. The first bow knife skin to be accepted in about 5 years. The last marketable skin being accepted was the rebar bone knife. And, well, due to scarcity, all the bone knife skins of the past, they've been rising up in price higher and higher and higher ever since then. But now, at $2.49, we've got a pretty cool looking design. But there is a notable, strange thing about it. You might notice it kind of looks quite 2D. Well, the skin creator tried to make something work, but, you know, it does have its quirks, I guess you could say. Yeah, it looks transparent from the front. Unfortunately, skin creators, they can't, like, add mesh to items when they make skins. So all they can really do creatively is add transparency. And to make the, you know, the shape of it work, they've had to remove some portions, and now there you go. Now it looks as if it's invisible from the front. Maybe some people might happen to like that. Ooh. But for what it is, I'm sure a lot of people are just happy to have a bone knife skin in a Rust store. Maybe from here and now we could potentially see a few more. Maybe skin creators seeing that would encourage them and motivate them to want to make bone knives. Like, what if it becomes the focused item of the month at some point in the future? You never know. Just to point out, it also does not glow in the dark, so okay, cool. Well, say no more. Let's go ahead and hold it in my hands. And yeah, I will sit here and say this. It does look kind of 2D. Chop, 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 chop. But hey, it's nice to see another bone knife skin. So, alright, cool. And nighttime look. Is there any night light? I can vaguely see it. Over to here. Is it shiny? To a point, the metallic part is. So, alright, cool. So now, kind of hold this in a way so that when I look at it over here, looks pretty sweet. Third person, you can notice the shine of it as well. So yeah, what's your opinion? Do you like what you see? Would you like to see a sequel like a salvage sword or a long sword or something? Feel free to comment below. Keep an eye out on the workshop. Moving on from here, we also happen to have a salvaged axe. So you might recall in the past we saw an ice pick, protector ice pick, prototype. Is it? Yeah, it's prototype. Yep, prototype. I haven't got it mixed up, don't you worry. Made by Mr. Zetsky Provocateur. Cool. Yes, yes. Hello, good sir. Congratulations in getting this accepted. Previously, he had a salvage sword, and then, of course, last year, to our surprise, we saw the prototype ice pick being accepted. But you might have noticed last week we got the gold chains salvage sword, salvage axe. Even though with the previous year we had the ice pick, and I've noticed this as well. So, all right, cool. So now we have 2 marketable instances of a pair of salvage tools. Do you reckon we're going to start seeing salvage tools being accepted in pairs in future Rust stores? Because we have seen at least one instance now of a pair being submitted at the same time. Black Ops salvage tools. Ooh. So get a good look at that. A very nice looking axe design. Looking pretty sweet. And of course, quick nighttime look. Can confirm it does not glow in the dark. Alright, cool. Cool. So, any good night light or anything? I don't see it very well. Okay. What it is, it's a nice looking X. But, as I said, are we now going to start seeing, like, salvage tools being submitted as a pair? Are we going to eventually see them being accepted as a pair? Regular tools get accepted as a pair. Stone tools get accepted as a pair. What of salvage tools? We shall see. Right then, so moving on from here, let's now go ahead and showcase the Stinger hunting bow. And instantly you'll notice we have transparency. I'm not sure with this being accepted it's going to make that much of an impact on the crossbow. Now if this appeared last year, oh, it very likely would have made an impact. But the bowless crossbow came out early this month, and that Stinger crossbow has dropped off quite a fair bit. Oh dear. But what we've also seen quite a lot of this year is a lot of transparent bows. So again, when I aim down, I have the transparency in the upper portion right there that you can see. Now, you know, if someone was at a higher level than me and whatnot, I might be able to spot them like so. Yeah, look at this. You know, I might be able to spot one creeping up at me like that. Like if this was a regular bow, non-skinned, I wouldn't see that. It's this specific scenario where it's pay to win, and that's it. For what it is, though, it's still a very nice, sleek, stylish-looking design for a hunting bow. So, you know, let's go over to here. Let's get a good look at that. I've seen attempts for an AK, some armor, but now we see it being accepted. Looking pretty sweet. What other weapon skin would you like to see potentially being made and accepted? We shall see. And of course, quick look at night time, just to confirm, it does not glow in the dark. So, let's now go ahead, hold it in my hands. Oh, no, don't you dare. Don't you dare. Did you hear him? I'm sure I'll be fine. You can't have this. This is mine. Right, this is my hunting bow. You can't have this, cat. Go away. Shoot. Let's give this a quick look at night time. I can't confirm. Yep, doesn't glow. And no, cat. No. Anyway. Ignore him. Ignore him. He's trying to ruin the show. As you can see, it's somewhat shiny. Looking pretty cool. And now I've got to hold this in a particular manner. And yeah. Getting a good look at that. What's your opinion then? You can see his eyes. What are you up to? This is my bow. Go away. Could we maybe see some tools? What about like a jackhammer? Or what about other pay-to-win skins? Keep an eye out on the workshop. I'm sure the skin creator is going to feel reinvigorated and motivated. It's still there. Motivated to potentially want to go ahead and make some more skin. You know what? You want to fight? You want to fight? Come on there, kitty. Come on, kitty. Come on, kitty. Yeah. Take that, kitty. He's not even moving. You've walked all this way and you just... I don't know what to say. What are you doing? The cats here are weird. Next up, Young Dragon LR300. Well, this is a pretty interesting looking design. It's the first ever acceptance for Hardy. I can confirm on the workshop they have recently produced an SKS and an AK-47. What you're looking at very likely could be turned into a brand new weapon collection. If we were to see the other skins being accepted, of course. So, okay. That's looking pretty sweet. Now, of course, let's just give this a quick look at night time, and, well, obviously you can see it doesn't glow in the dark. So, alright, cool. Let's take control. Ooh. So, it is a standard sight, as you can see. Nope, no ammo. Let's fix that then. That's looking shiny. That's looking nice. What about night time, though? So, of course, it doesn't glow, but, you know, it does have night light. I can vaguely see the design. I can aim down. Yeah, I can see that pretty easily, actually. Alright. That's looking pretty cool. Does stand quite, stand out quite nicely. Looking pretty sweet. Can you shoot as well, Hedge? There you go. That's looking nice. That's looking sweet. Right then. Well, let's go ahead and stage and... Ooh, look at the shine now. Oh yeah, that's looking nice. So thoughts and opinions, please? What do you reckon? In fact, what would you like to see being made next? Go on the workshop right now. Look at the skin creator's previous works. You will see an SKS. You will see an AK-47. Maybe a Thompson? M249? Handmade MG? What about sword? What do you want to see? Go for comment below. So yeah, that's looking pretty sweet. And of course, we also happen to have a bolt action rifle. But this is the focused item of the month. Factory new. Get a good look at that. So priced at $3. We've recently seen the Heatseeker bolt action rifle, and we've recently seen the Rainbow Pony bolt action rifle. And I've gotta say, with two very colourful, very standout sort of designs from notable collections, factory new, whilst we have seen some previous weapon skins being accepted. Well, are you a fan of it? Do you happen to like the design of it and whatnot? In fact, let's just go ahead and look at it in third person. Maybe I should lower myself a bit. Look down a bit. Yep, there you go. That's a little bit better. I mean, it definitely looks like it's factory new. So it's you know, it's got an idea and it commits to it. So that's looking pretty sweet at the very least. But is it just metallic? Were you expecting something extra? Or is that perfectly fine for you? At the very least, shouldn't I have a scope? Ah, there we are. Yes. So, get a good look at that. That's looking nice. I aim down. What are you expecting? So, no transparency with this. Sure we saw that a second ago. Maybe people care more about the transparent aim. Don't you... Get out of here, you. Go away. Go away. Why are you alive again? Bad cat. Shoo. Shoo. Get out of here. Anyway. I'm so sorry. $3. Do you like? Or maybe it won't sell as much in comparison to the previous skins. And again, it was the focused item of the month. We've seen 4 being accepted throughout this month. Chances are you might still see one being accepted next week. That might be interesting for the predictions video. But this right here, I've got to admit, it is a nice and stylish, shiny looking design. Could we get like a proper Battle Scarred sort of collection as well to counter it? But yeah, maybe we'll see the return of this collection as a whole. Maybe we'll start seeing, I don't know, factory new clothing and armour. Would the hoodie and pants be shiny as well? Yeah, whatever. But hey, it's nice to see a return of another collection. It's nice to see a lot of interesting options for the bolt action rifle. Because over the past few years, whilst it's had a decent amount of acceptances, it hasn't had that much. I wonder if we do actually happen to see another bolt action rifle skin being accepted after this week. At the very least, keep an eye on the workshop, and you'll be informed. Right, let's wrap up the video. So I'm going to commit, and I just want to keep you informed of things that potentially might be appearing soon, because we don't definitively know what's going to be like introduced next week. Next week is July 4 swipe. Next week is the July update. So when you keep an eye on the commits, you're most likely to be fully aware of the content that's being worked on. And, well, as we move over to here, I'm sure many of you are fully well aware that we've got an apartment complex monument being worked on. I'm not sure if it's finished enough that it's going to be ready for next week. I was under the impression it might need to be cooked on for a bit longer, or maybe they insert it in next week and then they realise, oh, we've got to hot fix this, we've got to fix that and whatnot. We'll see, but that could be added next week, all right? Now, if we do get a good look at that, well, let's switch over to here, to Mr. Protox. Yep. I'll add this tweet in the description of the video, because next week we could potentially see that. Now, there's also a question of what we're going to see as the DLC for next week. As I switch over to here, I'm sure many of you are fully well aware of the glowing wallpapers that have been mentioned for a while now. We also might, potentially be aware of the Game Room DLC. We haven't had a good visual of the Game Room DLC yet, or rather, Mr. Protox hasn't, and I'm kind of under the impression that they're going to cook on this a bit longer. Because now, I can see they're working on... there's a Games Room shotgun trap skin. What? What would be a shotgun trap in a game room? I don't know. Sounds quite goofy though. Maybe it's like a whoopee cushion, but instead, anyway. Anyway, you should be fully well aware that we're also getting a mini fridge skin as well. So mini fridge, shotgun trap. We're also getting a darts board and a pool table. Not sure what else there's going to be. I'd imagine there'll be at least one more game to play or whatever. I mean, we'll find out soon enough. But the glowing wallpapers, well, guess what? Mr. Protox, he has a visual. He's got a video showcasing all of them. I think that's the special DLC pack for next week. Or rather, for July 2026. So consider giving that a good watch. It'll be linked in the description as well. But it's not just that, because, well, let's switch over to here. We have brand new charity plushies, which Mr. Protox has already got a good visual of. So as you can see here, the video is linked as well. We have 3 brand new charity plushies, and I'm pretty sure these are going to be available for every single Rust store for July 2026. You might recall in the past, we've already had a Cancer Research UK teddy bear plushie. We've already had a Ronald McDonald charity plushie. Well, now we've got newer, up-to-date versions. It's got like a scientist, a cuddly bear there. And we even have a brand new Humane World for Animals plushie. So I have reason to believe that these will be available for every single Rust store in July 2026, and all proceeds after buying this will go towards those charities. So, all right, cool. Some brand new collectibles to have on, to the side of our bases and whatnot. So very nice, very pleasant. Protox has already made a video showcasing them. They glow in the dark. Give that a good watch to see for yourself. So again, that'll be linked in the description. Okay, so anything else to talk about from here? Player count's doing pretty good. We're about to go through the weekend, the final weekend for June 2026. But as you notice, the average player count has been doing pretty sweet. Now, I wonder how many people are going to want to sit indoors and melt. Look, can you see the shine? Oh, it's a struggle. But yes, it's been pretty good. I reckon July will be even better. I reckon August will be even better. If you care about like investments and whatnot, typically during those 2 months, kids are out of school across the world, summer vacation, summer holidays, and you should be expecting a lot more people playing Rust. With more people playing Rust, better Rust skin prices, because there's more demand for skins. Ooh. But inevitably, it's also expected that prices will drop off once we reach around October time. This is a routine thing that happens every single year. So if you'd like to learn more about that and how Rust skins work, and, well, I'd like to actually go ahead and introduce you a video. Right here, yes. Introduce you to a video that is the Popstar Summer 2026 video. Whilst I mainly talk about anime skins and the surprise of how it's turned out where we see tons of them being accepted now, I do basically talk about what's to be expected with these, and are they going to work out perfectly fine forever? Are they potentially going to suffer during October? Basically everything I've talked about in regards to summer peaks in October time, I talk about in here as well. And also a lovely little showcase, and potentially a very nice looking sheep leather double door in relation to those plushie bears that we just showcased. What might it be? Consider giving it a good watch. You'll see it for yourself, because we also showcase some interesting skins from the workshop. Now, I did also happen to reference a certain metal shopfront skin. If you've seen my most recent Rust Workshop Skin Checks video for June 23, 2026, I'm sure many of you are fully well aware, we had a lot of collection continuations. But what we also happened to see was the first ever metal shopfront skins. Boom. I'll have to link this in the description as well. God, there's so much to look at, but I'm sure you're very intrigued, because not only do we have space-themed shop fronts, we also happen to have a Firefly shop front. Now here's an extra question to consider. If Face Punch didn't want to see camouflage auto turrets being made, is that going to be allowed? I know some of you might sit there and say, oh, but it's got the red all around it. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. Shipping container building skin, make it green. Uh-oh. All right, maybe that might be a bit problematic. But then again, it does glow in the dark as well. Interesting. So, all right, I'll link that in the description. And over the course of this weekend, you will see more shopfront skins being posted. And next week, we're expecting to see the first ever shopfront skin being accepted. What might it be? I'll keep an eye out. So, okay, that's cool. And then one final thing. So we can keep an eye on the overall sales and whatnot. In fact, yeah, let's just stay up to date. There we are. Cool. I will remind you the Rust store rotated late, so the sales we see initially, you shouldn't worry too much about them. Wait for the first 24 hours of sales. Consider looking at my Twitter, of course, because I'll be posting it there and whatnot, and then you'll probably get a good idea in regards to how much the final sales will be. But with last week's skins, well, we did the abnormal barders last night. We wanted to find out, were these skins actually be nice investments? Could they actually become very nice things to just buy straight from the Rust store? Did you buy anything from last week? After doing the abnormal barters last night, I felt very confident in the SAR. I felt pretty confident with the bar bolt action rifle. And I actually jumped in. I bought 30 of the bolt action rifles and I bought 50 of the tribal LSRs. So, oh, well, let's see if that works out nicely, because it's got a lot of support. And I can't help but assume at some point we're going to probably keep seeing more and more tribal alloy skins being, submitted and accepted. So, of course, if you were to keep an eye on the workshop, you'll be fully well aware of all the newest submissions and whatnot. Again, you can just look at micro522.com, which is linked in the description. Scroll down, you see it for yourself, and you'll see all the newest submissions like so. So with last week, the sales did turn out quite interesting. Oh, look, there you go. There's the auto turrets. Notice the difference in sales. We talked about that. But I did jump in and buy 50 of them, because with the pay-to-win features it had, it was just too good to say no to. Right, so that quite literally is everything that needs to be talked about. So, yeah, enjoy your weekend. Keep an eye on the Playrust Twitter, all right? They're going to announce what is going to be added for July 4th wipe. Are we going to actually see the monument? What DLC is going to be added? We don't fully know as of yet, but I'm sure we'll find out by Tuesday. Playrust Twitter. So with that, thank you very much for watching the video. I greatly appreciate it. And I'm sorry about the cats. What was going on with them, I don't know. I'm sorry. What are you doing? What are you doing, cat? Can you stop still? I want to get rid of you. Go away. Go.